That's the way they wrote that song, with a hole in the harmonica. I went there, something in one of them reeds. Thank you.
How you been? Cool. Have you been to the thrift store at the senior center? Well, did you know you can buy a chicken for a nickel? Seriously. Well, I'm a 10-year-old cowboy poet from Bear River, Wyoming, and I'd like to share this poem with you today. This first poem I'll do is a poem that I wrote, and it's one about a guy, and he's sitting on his front porch. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's called, what is it called? It's called A Cowboy Stuff, and it goes like this. I was sitting on my front porch one night in late July when I looked up high above me and I asked the good Lord why. I asked, why are times changing, or why must we progress? A cowboy's life was simple. Most cowboys knew no stress. If life was like it was back then, we wouldn't have to worry. There would be no deadlines, there would be no need to hurry. A cowboy's needs are basic. He lives within his means. He has no need for credit. He'll work for all he needs. A cowboy's home is everywhere, don't matter where that might be. He'll hang his hat most anywhere, a hook, a door, a post, or tree. A cowboy's life is simple. He lives from day to day. I thank the good Lord up above, and as I knelt to pray, I realize now what I had asked is that I truly know. If we are not to progress each day, then how are we to grow? If we look at life as it was back then, we would see we need change. Not from then to now today, but from now to then, a time away. Thank you. This next one I'll do is one I just finished, and I'll debut it for you fine folks today. This poem is a short one, and I really hope you enjoy it. It's called Born to be a Cowboy, and it goes like this. I was born to be a cowboy, to rope and ride and rhyme, roping calves and riding bulls. This is how I spend my time. Now I was raised with values, and that's something to be told. There's 10 principles to live by, and it's called the Cowboy Code. Being a cowboy ain't always easy. There's chores that need to be done. Working hard is just expected, but some chores are just dang fun. There's also time for playing with my family and my pards, sitting around the campfire or dealing me a hand of cards. I also like to settle up for a quiet evening roam and put my thoughts and words together and come up with a poem. Thank you. The next one I'll do is a poem that I wrote myself again, and this one is one that is one of my favorites to my heart. It's one about me and my sister just liking to take a ride on desert land and livestock. And that's a ranch where I live, and I'd like to share this poem with you today. It's called The Last Fall Ride, and it goes like this. It's called a mountain desert, out where we reside. We saddle up the ponies and head out for a ride. On the banks of the Bear River or the Sage on Deseret, it's a place that's close to heaven, and we ride without a fret. There's deer and elk up on the mountains and antelope out on the flat. I see beauty all around me through these eyes beneath my hat. McCuddy's in my left hand, and we set out on a lope, my feet firm in the stirrups, and my right hand holds the rope. It's just a pleasure trail ride, maybe check a cow or two. We ride along the fence line underneath the sky of blue. Today, I'm riding Chrissy, a solid sorrel mare. She's the horse I learned to ride on. She's gentle and she's fair. With my sister right beside me on her pretty buckskin lace, we ride along together, at a slow and steady pace. We rode upon some heifers that seemed to be astray. I checked the brand and recognized the arch above the J. Austin rides up to their left, and I push him from the right. We move them north along the fence until we have their herd in sight. We leave them to their grazing and we watch them for a while. I think about this life I live, and it brings me to a smile. Talking as we're riding about horses, spurs, and bits. Reins we use for roping, and reins that we call splits. Austin likes a snaffle with some pretty fancy tack. But for me, I'm more old-fashioned. I prefer a bow saw hack. We rode away in the morning, and we'll soon be home. Fresh water for the ponies, then we'll turn them out to roam. The midday sun is shining, and a breeze begins to blow. It's good to get in one last ride before the winter snow. Thank you. The last one I'll do to finish it up for you guys today is a poem that my dad found for me, and I'd like to share it with you today. It's called A Tradition, and it goes like this. You see, some folks just don't get it. They think owning a horse makes no sense. It takes too much time, too much equipment, and not to mention the expense. But the fondest memories of my life they might think sound funny, were made possible by Mom and Dad, because they spent the time and spent the money. You see, the most important lessons helping values grow so strong come from loving horses and passing that tradition on. Thank you.
Good job. Well, Bagley's next. Let's give